We are back with another monthly wrap-up of some of the weird, bizarre, and even scary news to come out of Japan over the last month. So, what happened over the last month or so? Let's take a look. Number 1. First up this month, it was revealed on May 23rd that a woman in her 20s from Nagasaki had been referred to the prosecution for a string of incidents back in February that broke the road traffic law. According to the Nagasaki police, she had been caught driving over 100 km per hour on a road with a speed limit of just 50. She also ran several red lights and refused to pull over when police tried to get her to do so. But the kicker to all this? The woman in her 20s was also a police officer. The police were chasing the police. According to the woman, she was on her way home from her parents' house at the time. "I didn't notice the patrol car following me. I just wanted to get home as soon as possible to sleep," she reportedly said. But in doing so, she apparently committed 13 offences, including running from the police. Her colleagues. On May 1st, she was punished with a pay cut of 10% for the next 6 months, and her case was then forwarded to the prosecution. Don't run away from your colleagues, folks, especially if they're fellow officers. Number 2. In news from the other side of the law, last month it was revealed that 4 members of the Sumiyoshi-kai Yakuza organization were arrested. Their crime? Operating an office just 90 meters from a library. According to police, the men operated this office from June 17th, 2024 to February 26, 2025, in an apartment building just 90 meters from the Kiyose City Library in Tokyo. The office was discovered because the owner of the room was a relative of one of the suspects. If you're wondering why running an office near a library is a problem, Japan has numerous laws in place to effectively neuter gangs and what they can and can't do. And being a known Yakuza member and running an office that's within 200 meters of any school or similar institutions is now illegal. They'll get you one way or another, whether it's something as simple as renting a car or setting up shop near educational facilities. Number 3. You hear about it in scary stories all the time. People go to an abandoned building for a test of courage, and while there, they find something they shouldn't have. Well, this month, that happened for real, when a group of people from Niigata Prefecture visited an abandoned retail facility and discovered something horrifying inside. A skeleton. The group visited the building on May 24th, shortly before midnight. They had heard from people who previously visited the building that there was a dead body inside, and they wanted to see if the rumours were true. Unfortunately, they were, and around 11:30 p.m. they contacted the police to let them know what they'd found. The body was in such a state that police were unable to identify whether it was a man or a woman, but they were wearing long sleeves, pants, and shoes. They were unable to see any external damage to the body and are now trying to determine who this person might have been. Number 4. It was announced recently that Hong Kong's Greater Bay Airlines would be reducing their scheduled flights to Sendai and Tokushima from May until the end of October. The reason for this? Well, a Japanese manga predicted that there would be a large earthquake in Japan this July, and rumours of this have spread like wildfire throughout Hong Kong social media. People are literally avoiding the country so they don't get caught in an earthquake that a comic predicted. The manga in question is The Future I Saw, and it has been famous for a while now for predicting the 2011 Tohoku earthquake. This manga was published in 1996, so 15 years beforehand. But another date from that same comic also mentioned a large earthquake happening in July 2025. So, next month. And a feng shui expert in Hong Kong has also apparently predicted a large earthquake hitting Japan sometime in the next few months, which has led to numerous people on social media believing that a disaster is about to occur. And so, people are avoiding travel to Japan this summer, just in case. This has become such an issue that the Tokushima prefectural governor even made a statement, claiming he spoke to the Greater Bay Airlines CEO about it and stressed that disasters can and will happen anywhere. And if such an event does happen, Japan is ready and prepared to protect not just its own people, but tourists as well. Even Japan's meteorological agency put out a statement, claiming that anyone trying to predict the time and place of an earthquake is simply a hoax. Number 5. Once again, it's one of my favorite times of year. Time for the annual Tuchino Hunt in Gifu Prefecture. Every year, people flood the small village of Higashi Shirakawa in hopes of finding this mythical creature. Why here in particular? Well, since the early Showa era, there have been reportedly more than 20 sightings of the Tsuchinoko nearby. If you're gonna hunt for a mythical creature, then this seems like the best spot to do it. Reportedly, over 2,500 people took part in the search, with 1 million yen in prize money on the line, in case you do happen to actually find the creature. 10,000 yen is added to that prize pool each year it's not found. But sadly, nobody was able to claim it this year either, as the stumpy, snake-looking creature once again eluded human sight. Maybe next year, guys. Maybe next year. Number 6. It was reported last month that on April 4th, a 49-year-old unemployed man living in Kyoto City called a nearby electronics store to complain that some hair clippers he bought weren't working. He then demanded the store bring some new ones right to his house. A 42-year-old staff member agreed to do so. However, once he got there, the 49-year-old reportedly showed him his tattoos and said, "If you're really sorry about what happened, then shave your head." This is something that used to be done quite a lot in Japan when apologizing and promising to reflect on one's mistakes. It still happens even now, but it's much more rare. At any rate, the staff member, seeing the man's tattoos and fearing he was a gang member, did as he was told, shaving the right side of his head before leaving. He then informed police, and the man was arrested on May 22nd. When asked about it by police, he reportedly said, "If that's what he says, then I guess it's true." Number 7. In more Yakuza news, it was reported that on May 10th, 8 men in Otaru City, Hokkaido, were arrested for, well, trying to smuggle sea cucumbers. As the Coast Guard were patrolling that night, they spotted a boat with its light off around 9 p.m. After watching them closely for the next 2 hours, the boat returned to shore and they followed them. On board, they found around half a ton of sea cucumbers. Each of the 8 men reportedly took on a different role, such as various lookouts, sea captain, diver, etc. Some of them tried to disappear back into the ocean when caught, but the Coast Guard persuaded them not to, and each of the men were arrested. One of them claimed to be a gang member, but no further information has been made public on their actual affiliations, or perhaps lack of, yet. No word on what happened to the sea cucumbers either, but they were presumably put back. Or at least I hope so. The slimy little dudes did nothing wrong. Number 8. In a rather bizarre turn of events last month, Japan's Minister for Agriculture mentioned at a speech on the 18th that he had never bought rice before. "Supporters give me so much rice that I could sell it." While on the surface this may seem like an entirely innocent, if kind of weird comment, this came at a time when rice prices are still rising in Japan. People are struggling to afford what is considered the most basic and essential of all food products across the country. And, he's literally the Minister for Agriculture and telling people he's never once bought rice himself and he has so much of it given to him for free that he could sell and make a profit off it. The backlash to this was so swift that he immediately apologized and retracted his statement, but it wasn't enough. And on May 21st, just a few days later, he resigned. In his resignation speech, he mentioned that the price of rice is a great struggle for many right now, and it wouldn't be right for him to continue. Because, he's never had to pay for rice before. So how are people supposed to trust him to be the one working towards bringing those prices down? Yikes. Number 9. A tweet from a former police officer went viral last month for warning people about some of the more uncomfortable aspects of the job in Japan's hot, humid summers. The account, which was started to inform people of some of the real and uncomfortable aspects of being a police officer that active duty officers can't really speak about, touched on one particularly gruesome topic on May 18th. Finding dead bodies in summer. Midsummer in the Criminal Investigation Department is hell, the tweet started. After 3 days, people who suffered strange or violent deaths start to decompose and give off an awful smell. It really is bad. You can smell it without even going inside. Who thought these were places humans should enter? The Criminal Investigation Department in summer really is hell. Comments, of course, were largely sympathetic, and if you've been in Japan during the summer, you'll know how overbearingly humid it can be at times. It's never a good time to be dealing with crimes like that, but it's a good reminder of the stark realities many people have to face in the line of duty. Number 10. And finally this month, 2 thieves got more than they bargained for when they tried to rob the wrong store. It was reported on May 16th, 2 men broke into a pawn shop in Saitama Prefecture in the early hours of the morning. The store's security cameras captured a car pulling up around 2 a.m. And after hearing the sound of glass breaking downstairs, the owner, who lives above the store, called the police. When he went downstairs, he found 2 men putting goods into a bag. And so, what did he do? Well, they got into a bit of a scuffle, by his own words, and because he didn't want them to get away, he took a crowbar and smashed the windscreen of their car. While he was doing this, his wife ran downstairs and started her own attack, with bug spray. She sprayed the thieves with bug spray. The 2 men jumped into the remains of the car, and the owner took the bug spray from his wife and continued spraying it through the now missing windscreen. The men fled, but one of them, a 69-year-old unemployed man, was arrested shortly thereafter. Police are still looking for the other, believed to be in his 50s. The store owner was also injured in the attack, getting slashes on his feet from the glass that took 2 weeks to heal from. The 69-year-old admitted to the charges, and it's probably safe to say he won't be attempting to rob that particular store again anytime soon. And that's just some of the weird, bizarre, terrifying, and also kind of funny news that came out of Japan last month. But what about you guys? Hear of anything odd or terrifying? Weird or funny? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.